I welcome you all back to this online learning platform with me. I'm Shyam Panchal from Takshila Model Senior Secondary School. So students, as I promised to you in the last video, in the last lecture, that I would soon be back with a new chapter on English composition. So I am back today. So the today's topic is actually going to be a topic from English grammar, and that is definitely on composition, English composition. So today, the topic that I'm going to discuss with you is précis writing. What is précis writing? Précis writing is actually a clear, compact and logical summary of a passage or article, right? It is what, students? It is actually summary. What kind of summary? It is clear, right? It is compact. Compact here means very short, right? A compacted form of summary of what? Of either a passage or an article, right? So it is also logical. Logical means it makes complete sense, right? So what we are supposed to do actually, when I just tell you about précis writing is actually a type of summary writing, right? What actually happens that we are given a passage or an article, right? We just need to read that passage or the article thoroughly. While on reading the article or passage, we need to underline the important points, right? Why? It is because at the end of the reading of that particular passage or article, we are just supposed to write a short summary of that passage. Short but meaningful. Short but precise. So we are supposed to write a precise, right, summary of that passage, and it is possible only when we have just understood the gist of the passage. We have understood the passage thoroughly. We've gone through the passage thoroughly. It's only when we can just write a very short summary of that passage. So when actually we are going to write a very short summary of that passage, we just need to understand each and everything mentioned in the passage, right? So what we are supposed to do, we just need to mention in our précis writing what only the important points. The unnecessary points are to be excluded out of our summary writing, right? This is actually called what? This kind of summary writing is called what? Précis writing. So now we just come to know that précis writing is actually a type of summary writing. We are either given a passage or an article. From that passage or article, we just need to extract important points only, right? Make sure these important points must be in chronological order, right? I will just be explaining these points to you using this section. So first of all, we have now understood what is précis writing. Précis writing is actually a type of summary writing, right? And this summary is about 1/3 of the total length of the passage given, right? It is 1/3 of the total length of the passage given, right? So students, now let us just discuss these points, right? Points to be kept in mind when we are just going to write précis writing. So what are the points that we should keep in mind? First one, right? The point number 1 says, as you can read on the board, point number 1 says, read the passage carefully. That's right. We are supposed to read the passage carefully. Unless we read the passage carefully, we will not be able to understand the sense conveyed by the passage, right? Or the meaning conveyed by the passage. And in that case, what will happen? We will not be able to find out the important details out of that passage, right? So if we just want to extract, if we just want to take out the important details which are to be used in the précis writing, we just need to read the passage carefully, right? Carefully as well as thoroughly. Now point number 2, while on you are reading the passage, you just need to do what? You just need to underline those points which you think are quite important, right? Means when a passage is given to you, the passage is about something, right? And in that passage, sometimes what happens, that author just uses his own, he mentions his own viewpoints about a particular thing, right? And there are certain citations also which are given by the author. So we just need to do what? We just need to ignore a few things when we are just writing précis writing, right? So we need to ignore a few things. So we just need to underline those points only which we think are very important. Now the point number 3 says what? Point number 3 says, Arrange the points in chronological order, right? When you are just going to read the passage or the given article, you are supposed to underline the important points. Once you have just read the entire passage thoroughly, what happens that you have the points in it, right? But these points are still lacking what? Coherence, order, right? So since these points are lacking order, you just need to, arrange them in a well ordered, right? In good order, right? So you just need to arrange them in perfect order. Only it's only when your pressy writing will make complete sense. Means it will be very easy to understand for the readers, right? It will be very easy for the readers to understand. Now we have point number 4. What does the point number 4 say? Point number 4 actually says that be both precise and terse about the word limit. Yes. So in the beginning I told you that the pressy writing, right, must be written in about 1/3 of the total length of the original passage, right? I can simply say, suppose that in the original passage there are 100 words. Just assume for a while, right? There are 100 words in the original passage which is given to us, and we are supposed to write a pressy on this passage. So rough idea, right? We will just conclude. We will just figure out a rough idea in how many words should we write a pressy writing. 1/3, that becomes about 30, right? About 30 words. So out of a passage that is consisted of about 100 words, we are supposed to write a pressy writing in just 30 words. Is that clear, students? So 1/3 should be the length of the total, or will be the length of the pressy writing, right? That you are going to write based on a given passage, right? So this point is also understandable to you now. Now we have the last one: omit all unnecessary details, right? This is something that I have already mentioned. This is something that I have already explained to you. Means whatever you find that these points are not actually so important, you just need to omit them. You just need to exclude them out of your pressy writing, right? So when we are just following these 4 points, we are able to write a very good piece of pressy writing, right? Next thing, sometimes what happens that when we are writing pressy writing, we are not allowed to use our own opinions, to use our own outlook, on viewpoint, right? So we are not supposed to write anything that has not been mentioned in the passage, or that has not been said or written by the speaker, by the author, right? So we are actually limited to include the details which are mentioned by the author in the original passage. Is that clear? So we are not supposed to break the lineage, right, that has actually been directed to us by the author in the original passage, right? So we just need to follow what the writer has written, but we only should mention the important points. There are a lot of things which are unimportant, and these unimportant things are to be left out. Is that clear, students? So this is how we actually read a good piece of pressy writing, right? So finally, before I just take you to an example, right, let me just summarize whatever I have just explained to you in this video today, in this lecture today. Today we are going to read pressy writing. Pressy writing is actually a short summary which is clear, compact and logical, right? Clear, compact and logical. Compact here means quite condensed, quite shriveled up, quite short, right? So why do we actually write pressy, right? Pressy writing is important. Why is it important? Actually, what happens that sometimes we are given an article, we are given a passage, we are given some sort of write-up, right, which is quite lengthier, and but we do not have enough time to go through that, right, completely. Or sometimes what happens when our exams are quite near, right? So we just avoid hard reading. Hard reading means a lot of stuff is there and you are supposed to read that all. So in order to avoid that kind of tedious work, you just do what? You just look for the notes, right, or the pressy for particular passage or a very long passage. So similar to this topic, there is also one kind of composition which we call note making. Note making is also similar to this one, right? But note making is more precise, is more compact, right, than this. It is more compact than this. Why? Because in note making we do not use whole sentences, right? We just use phrases, points, right, like this. So in Prezi writing, we are allowed to use whole sentences, complete sentences, but in note making we are not allowed, right? So instead of reading a very lengthy passage, what we need to do, we just need to look for the Prezi. Means we need to make a Prezi for that passage, and our work becomes easier, right? So students, let's not waste any moment, and I'm just now taking you straight to an example. But this example is not going to be so lengthy, so uh, you know it will just not take a lot of your time. It's not just going to be very lengthy. It is going to just take very few moments, right? So you just need to take a look at this example, right? And I'll be back. So students, now you have seen how only few lines, have just been contracted, right? They just have been, compacted, and now you get that instead of 4 lines, you have only 2 lines. So this is called the art of writing Prezi. So students, I hope that this lecture today must be very helpful to you. You must have, understood, known the art of writing Prezi. So with this, I come to an end with my lecture, right? You just need to pay attention to all these things, right, before you sit down to write your Prezi writing. So Prezi writing, again, I'm telling you, is very important because it just gives us an idea, right? Or not only an idea, it gives us entire information out of a very lengthy topic, out of a very lengthy writer, right? So instead of going through a very lengthy passage, we just need to look for Prezi based on that passage, and the Prezi will definitely give us the entire information which is available in the lengthy passage. So students, with this I come to an end. Very soon I'll be back with a new chapter of English composition. Till then, be happy, keep smiling.